Alright, so today we're going to look at how we would recreate LinkedIn as like a web app, but we're not going to necessarily talk about like technologies per se. It's kind of going to be focused with like Angular for the component-based architecture, but this works with React components, and it's the internet is definitely this idea of components is more than just like Angular, React. I know Adobe Experience Manager CMS deals heavily with components, so I want to show you how we could turn LinkedIn into how to componentize it, I guess. So here we're at my LinkedIn, and if you scroll down, we can see, so we've got the feed, and inside the feed you can see there's like a post. And if we look at each post, they all have this little user guy, this user thing. It's got. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down. So we're gonna grab a snip of this. Let's see here. So this is a feed item. We're gonna come over to draw.io. Over this size. Okay, so this is. So let's just start with this real quick. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Here we go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. It's kind of cruddy view, but so we've got this user component. Let's see here. Let's see, user components. So this user bubble component. So this is going to be user component. So that's one component. Then we're going to create a component. This is another component is going to be this likes component. So this thing is going to be the likes component. And so the idea with this, son of a bitch, there we go. User component. Actually, let's keep doing this a little more. And so inside, see, so the component thing is you can even say inside of this user component. If we look closely, we've got a picture, a name. Whatever it is, days, title. You could even break this thing out into the components that's like user image component. And then once kind of show you some of this like tree component stuff. So this is user image components. Then we've got, let's say like user. I mean, you could do like user info component, something like that, and that's actually just going to be text. And let's see, so that's a user info component. And then you've got this right here. This is the actual content that is posted. So you're going to say this is a feed. We're going to say post content component. And this looks like it's like a rich text editor. We're not going to go into any of the implementation details. It's kind of, and this is actually literally what I do when I'm building out like Angular. Literally anything is kind of say like, what are these like Angular, Adobe Experience Manager components? You always want to break it down. Then again, we have like a feedback component. Let's see. Feedback component. And okay, so something about these components that's definitely also important. Feedback component, let's put it there. Is so these components are self-contained to themselves. So your user component isn't aware of any of the like stuff. It just is contained to user image and user info, and the idea is you're only passing the data necessary down to these components in this tree structure, and it's very easy to modify things. It's very easy to swap things out. So that is kind of how that goes. Another kind of way that you could do this is so you can have presentation layer, and this is really like your presentation layer, right? So your presentation layer, and then we'll have our service layer. Boom, we'll just say, alright, we got that. Now we've got our service layer, and this is going to have all the logic for actually getting the data. So ideally, this likes component, it doesn't know anything about how to get the data, what APIs to call, any of that stuff. All it knows is if I've given, like, say I'm given an array of likes. We're going to say like a JSON array of likes. Let's do, we're going to say name, or literally it's just an array, right? So name, so say Adam, Bill, John. So this component, this likes component, is given this array here, and it just knows how to display the likes. Now this likes component is actually going to interact with a service, right? And this service is going to have stuff like all of the logic for getting the data. So there may be a method on the service, on the likes service, like get post likes, and this thing makes the API call, whatever, and returns a post of likes. So that's kind of like a very high level way of the architecture of the web components, and kind of a little bit on the service layer. Can make more videos like this. This is kind of specifically, I definitely work a lot with Angular, but also this works with different types of front-end frameworks, CMSs, all sorts of stuff. So if you're interested in architecting applications, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.